All right, so it says the width of a rectangle is 30 less than 4 times the length. The perimeter is 60. What is the length, width, and area of the rectangle? So once again, I'm going to go through here and I'm going to draw myself a rectangle. I'm going to go and indicate that there's a 90-degree angle in the corner. And I'm going to indicate that the rectangle's opposite sides are congruent to each other. Okay, and from there, I'm going to start making my statements for this rectangle. So it says the width of a rectangle is 30 less than 4 times the length. So what it tells us is the width is, so remember we have W, the width is or equals to, and then we have this statement of 30 less than 4 times the length. Okay, so that means that we're taking 30 away from 4 times the length. So 4L, we're subtracting, and we're going to subtract 30 from it. So we can say the width is equal to 4L, 4 times the length, and then we are going to take away 30 of them. Okay. Now, once we know that, I'm going to place my width on our rectangle and say, okay, well, the width is right here. Let's call this 4L minus 30. And remember, it does not matter where you put that, so long as you recognize as the opposite side has to be exactly the same because they are a rectangle. Okay, and this is going to be our width that we're adding on there. Now, at this point, we're going to recognize that since the width is based on the fact that we have the length, the other side is going to be L, the length of the rectangle. Okay. So we go back to this statement that involves the perimeter now. The perimeter is 60. And as we do this, we have to remember the perimeter means that we are going to add all the sides. Okay, and that's because the perimeter is the distance around the boundary of the shape. Okay, the distance of the boundary of the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, well, in that case, the perimeter is 60. I'm going to say 60 equals, and I'm just going to add all the way around L. And I'm going to go and jump over because it's nice and easy to put them right next to each other, L. And then plus the other side, 4L minus 30 and 4L minus 30. Or in other words, there's double of each one of those. Okay. Once we have that, we just need to go ahead and take all of our lengths and collect those like terms. So like term, like term, like term, and like term. So we have 1L, 2Ls, 4L gives us 6L plus another 4L gives us 10L. So we have 10L or 10 lengths. And then we have this minus 30 and a minus 30. We collect those and that gives us minus 60. Okay, and we just keep solving from there. So we're going to add 60. Now we're at that basic math that basic algebra we're good at. So negative 60 plus 60 is 0. 60 plus 60 is 120 equals to 10L. I'm going to divide by 10 and L equals to 120 divided by 10, which is 12. So our length is 12. Let me rewrite that so it's easier to see because it's a little messy. Okay, once we've got that, we've got what the length is, I'm going to plug it in to find the width. And remember, our width statement is right up here in this top left-hand corner. So I'm going to say, well, the width is 4 times 12 minus 30. And 4 times 12 is 48 minus 30, and 48 minus 30 is 18. So we have a length of 12 and a width of 18. At this point, we've answered our length, we've answered our width. Now what we need to do is find out what the area of this rectangle is. And the area of a rectangle, let's go to that third question. The area of a rectangle or area of a parallelogram is really just length times width or base times height, depending on what lettering you're used to seeing. It's just going to be 12 times 18. And we'll just go off the Desmos and we'll type in, hey, let's figure out what is 12 times 18. We know 12 times 18 is going to be 216. So equals to 216. And because it doesn't tell us whether it's not inches, miles, or anything, I'm going to put units squared. And that will give us our length, our width, and our area of that rectangle.